welcome into It's the Law. Attorney Jay Davis is here from James W. Davis and Associates for our weekly It's the Law segment. Jay, as always, thanks for coming on.
Great to be here.
Divorce. Touchy subject. You guys do a lot with this, I'm sure.
Time to say I don't.
Time to say I don't. It's something that I just thought of that I didn't know the answer to that is actually fairly simple. The difference between a contested and an uncontested divorce.
A contested divorce means you're not in agreement on anything. If it's one thing left, if you go, you know what, we've got everything together, she's going to get the house, I'm going to get the car, I'm going to get the boat, I'm going to get the money in the bank, I'm going to get the retirement, but we can't decide who gets our chihuahua, it goes contested.
Right.
It's either we got it all worked out or it doesn't matter anymore because it's going to go.
So what are the perks and the downfalls to going the uncontested route? The contested route, excuse me.
The contested route, the downfall of that for the client is legal expenses. It's much more expensive to pay 2 attorneys to argue over your stuff. And many times you go to a mediation, you're paying 2 attorneys' hourly rates plus a mediator's hourly rate. And so you've got to get through that. Then you go to court. Then you're paying a court reporter usually $200 an hour for the entire week that you're in court doing that. So it gets very, very costly. So if you could narrow it down and go, you know what, these are our issues. Let's see if we can work it out and try to work it out together and get to an uncontested, that's better. But if you've got a lot of money, a lot of expense, one of you has a retirement plan that believes that they're totally entitled to it, the other one spent their retirement plan by, doing something else, then it gets into something and you have to decide, is it worth that amount of money that it's going to cost to go argue over whatever it is that we want to argue about.
You touched on it just there a little bit, but for you guys, in James W. Davis and Associates, when it gets to that point where it looks like it's going to be contested and the 2 people can't agree on something, do the guys offer advice to try to get it to an uncontested situation?
I typically try to encourage somebody to realize, to make sure that they're weighing out the cost of something, make sure that they think about it really sort of soberly. There's actually moments when people, one side or the other, usually I hope more often on the opposite side of my client because I try to bring them in, but sometimes there's somebody who's just so angry they don't care. They don't want to reach agreement and they just want to fight. So if that's the case, you want to sort of rein them in, try to get a check on emotions and just look at it more soberly and go, what is it that you're ultimately fighting for? What do you want? Are you mad that you're getting divorced at all? Are you, mad that somebody has hurt you in a way that you're having trouble? Anything that you allowed them to have, you would start resenting it. You have to sort of look over the big picture and go, how am I going to move on to make the assumption that you're going into divorce if that's going to be the case? Is there any hope for reconciliation? And if not, if you're going to look at divorce and that's going to be the ultimate remedy, how financially set is that more important than your immediate present anger? And that's what you have to sort of work out with that. That's a problem more often than not. There's more problems with divorce attorneys and their clients than there are with criminal attorneys and their clients.
It's almost like you have to go through a level of counseling.
That's very true.
When you're the attorney.
No, that's actually true on anything, even with criminal cases. Sometimes you have to sort of counsel them.
Get in their head a little bit and try to, ease them out. All right, Jay, last thing, how can people reach out if they are going through that time?
If they are going through that time, of course, you can call our office. We're always available. We're on at defendmacon.com.
Yeah.
And then we have the office, 742-1440. We do uncontested divorces. We can get that, wrap it all up as long as you're in agreement. We can try to sometimes bring people into the office and try to bring them to an agreement if we need to.
Okay, that's Jay Davis. Jay, appreciate you coming on.
Thanks a lot.
All right.